Hi everybody, welcome back to Visit FYLDE Coast. We're at North Pier tram stop right now. There's North Pier. Hive of activity today, they're doing all kinds of different jobs. These are two illuminations tableaus that mark the fallen from World War I and II. And that's why we're stood here right now, because today we're going to look at the Cenotaph. And it's a memorial that you probably walk past and have no idea at all about the history of it as a memorial to the country's dead. So unfortunately it's not going to fit on the screen, so that view is the only one you're going to get until we get to the other side of it, because it's a 30 metres tall piece of granite. Imagine building something so big. So the entrance to it at either end is marked by two lampposts. And I learnt something that I didn't know when I started looking at this, that a cenotaph is an empty tomb for bodies that have not been repatriated from war zones. So every day is a school day, as they say. It's a site for remembrance events in November, and it's also as well a site where all the Armed Forces events take place normally in Armed Forces Week in June in Blackpool. Obviously this year they've not been able to celebrate how they would do normally because of coronavirus, so all the Armed Forces Week events were cancelled. It was erected in 1923, and this is actually a conservation area in Blackpool. And you can see, if I just move around here, the Metropole Hotel just at the back of it, which kind of lines up nicely for a photograph. Sat on its square pedestal that we're stood against at the minute, it was designed by Ernest Prestwich, and he was a notable monument maker, and he was responsible for a number of other grade tool listed memorials that you'll find all in different places around the country. So we're going to take a look at some of the features on it. There's an article on our Live Blackpool website about the War Memorial, which has got photographs and all kinds of different information. So I'll pop the link to that in the description below, and then you can read it and see the information. It explains in great detail why it's significant and why it's an important monument to our fallen war heroes. So the bronze plaques, there's one there that we're looking at now, are by a sculptor called Gilbert Ledward, and there's one on this side and there's one on the other side. So this is your cenotaph, this is your tomb for the soldiers that didn't manage to come back, lest we forget indeed. And there are two sculptures, as I said, on the War Memorial, and the other one at the other side is quite unusual for its depiction of women. There's Britannia and Victory on it, but there's also a wife and a child that were left behind, a nurse, a grieving widow, a small child, and a cat. So I'll just pop round here and we'll show you that, and then we'll come back onto the sunny side of it where you can see properly. So at this side is the second bronze. I'll just go out of the sun and then you can see what we're looking at. That's it. Just a second. Reverse. So in the centre you've got your predominant figure, so you've got Britannia and Victory, and then there's a little girl here with a cat at this side. But more unusually on here is the corpse of a dead German soldier. and you need to look for it, and you need to know where you're looking, and he's just down there. I'm going to walk up to it in a second and show you, but in the context of the plaque, where you're looking is down there. It's possibly unique in England, because the combatants, you see him here, that's his head and his hand. The combatants were never featured on war memorials. Amazing. So it's a grade 2 listed memorial, and it was made grade 2 listed in 1983, and then in June 2017 it was upgraded to a grade 2 star listed, and it's one of only 5 2-star listed structures in Blackpool. So there's this and another 4. They're namely the Forevermore. Yeah, sobering. In 2007-8 it underwent a major restoration, and the stonework and the bronzes were all cleaned. I mean, obviously, you know, you don't clean things like that on a regular basis, because it wears away the detail and then you've got nothing to look at. And the quiet loft was added, which is a new memorial to civilian casualties by an artist called Ruth Barker, which is that, I believe. Sing softly, be still, cease. And this here is a memorial to the Falklands conflict, this one, in 1982. I can remember that as clear as a bell. My cousin served in the Falklands. So the restoration work and the choir loft was unveiled by the Duchess of Cornwall on the 27th of June 2008, and on that entrance post there's actually a little plaque that dedicates it. So there you go, that's your tour of Blackpool Cenotaph. And in November for Remembrance Day, and in June it's the centre of all the armed forces tributes. And without all the people that are listed on that memorial and all the hundreds of others that are like it, we won't be stood here today, walking about, doing what we're doing, having a normal free life. So lest we forget is a very true thing to say. The futility of war. So that's today's exploration. Don't forget to sign up for your weekly email newsletter if you've not done already, and then you'll get links to loads of different information like this. And don't forget to subscribe for the YouTube channel as well, and hit the bell for notifications. We're plodding our way around all the thousands and thousands of pages of content on the Visit FYLDE Coast website. So if you get notifications when you've subscribed, you'll know when we've uploaded new content. So from a sunny but blowy Blackpool seafront, we will say adieu, and we will see you next time. Have a lovely day. Bye.